mistake. Anyway, here now with more, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, the man himself, Georgia's Senate candidate Herschel Walker, and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Herschel, I saw the contest with you and Lindsey doing the push-up contest. Now, when we did it together, I did 100 push-ups. He only did 34. What's up with that?
Well, you know, that was a start. He was doing it to raise $34, so right now he's already agreed he's going to do 50. If everyone would give him $50, so I got to tell everyone out there, donate $50 to teamherschel.com, and Lindsey's going to do 50 push-ups for us.
You know, well, first of all, you could say hi to the crowd for me. I know you guys just had a big rally there, and I'm glad Senator Cruz, Senator Graham, to see you guys there. By the way, Senator Cruz, how many push-ups can you do?
Look, I'm a debater and a lawyer, so I'll just argue about it while you guys are doing the push-ups.
By the way, that's a good answer. So this race is important. Maybe some people don't think it's important. I think it is important. Lindsey Graham, will ask you, we'll start with you. Why does this race matter? I know you and Ted Cruz and many others have pretty much parked out in Georgia to help out Team Herschel.
Well, let me tell you what Schumer said about this race. A 50-50 Senate slows everything down, so it makes a big difference to us. So from Schumer's point of view, Herschel's a nightmare for his desire to change America. From my point of view, he's saving America. So if Schumer thinks Herschel's getting in his way, help Herschel, teamherschel.com. $17 million has been spent in the last 10 days on TV ads for Warnock, 5 for Herschel. There's 3 million people watching tonight. If 10% of you gave something, if you could, it raises millions of dollars. We're going to win this race because we can't afford to lose. Herschel is going to change the Senate for the better. Schumer knows this. They're trying to throw everything but the kitchen sink. So what can you do to help this fine man? You can go to the website, give money if you can, pray, vote, and give.
All right, Ted Cruz, this has been a very hard election to analyze, but I don't think there's any doubt. Under the guise of COVID, voting has changed in this country. And it looks like the left and the Democrats are way more comfortable with mail-in balloting and early voting than conservatives and Republicans are. If I had my system, it would be Election Day is a national holiday, paper ballots. We'd have signature identification and voter ID. We'd have partisan observers watch the voting, watch the vote counting that night. We'd call a winner like Canada does and the French do and Israel and, you know, some Great Britain, all these other countries do. That's the system we want. It's not the system we have. So do Republicans and conservatives need to get over the reluctance and resistance to mail-in ballots and early voting that they seem to show?
Well, listen, there's no doubt that we need to use every tool we can to turn out votes, every tool that is legal. And right now, we're in a sprint. We'll have plenty of time to engage in retrospectives about Election Day and the weeks and months to come. December 6th is this runoff, and this runoff makes a huge difference in Georgia. I believe Herschel Walker is going to win, but it's 100% a turnout game. It depends who shows up. The left, they're going to bust people out. They're going to try to turn out their radical base. They've got organizers that are very effective. And so this is really a call to the common sense people of Georgia, to people who believe in freedom, to people who believe in supporting the police, to people who believe in supporting the military, to people who oppose the socialist agenda that Raphael Warnock votes for. Chuck Schumer has told you he doesn't want Herschel Walker to win. He doesn't want a 50-50 Senate. Why is that? Because in a 50-50 Senate, the committees are even, which slows him down. If Raphael Warnock wins, Schumer can expedite confirming radical judges to take away your free speech rights, your religious liberty rights, your Second Amendment rights. And so I want to say, Sean, to everyone in Georgia, come out and vote on December 6th. Bring your friends, bring your family. And if you're not in Georgia, go to teamherschel.com, teamherschel.com, teamherschel.com. By the end of it, we're going to say this more than Lindsey says his website. And that's impressive because I think he's got his printed on his driver's license.
I know that.
What's the website today, Lindsey?
Well, nobody's going to outdo Lindsey on this part. I mean, this guy is shameless. But you know what? The reality is what he's saying is true, is that they've dumped nearly $20 million already in negative ads on Herschel's head, and that does have an impact on these races. Herschel, one thing I am glad to see is that Governor Kemp, who really, beat Stacey Abrams. Look, she was a person that said the worst state to live in was the state she wanted to govern. I don't think that went over well in Georgia, nor losing the MLB All-Star game and the $100 million+ to the economy that she lost. But I understand Governor Kemp has really gone above and beyond to help you and campaign for you on your behalf and stand up for you in this race. How important do you view that endorsement now?
Well, I view that endorsement very important because right now, Governor Kemp and we can row the boat in the same direction. Governor Kemp can do it on the state level, and I can help him on the federal level, whereas Raphael Warnock has rowed the boat against Governor Kemp and almost everything Governor Kemp has tried to do. And I think all the voters of Georgia need to know, to get Georgia back up, going the way it should be going, we got to get people in the boat rowing in the same direction. That'll be me in the Senate along working with Governor Kemp. That's when Georgia's going to see Georgia blossom even more.
I want to ask Lindsey, you the same question I was asking Ted, and that is, it's an uphill battle if Republicans and conservatives, if they don't like this system we have. I want to change it. I just explained that to Senator Cruz. But we have the system that we have. I wish I could change it. I wish I could snap my fingers. I can't. But the reality is Democrats have embraced early voting, mail-in voting. Republicans, conservatives have not. And that means, often is the case, that you come to Election Day and you're 30 percentage points behind and you got to catch up all day. That's not an easy thing to do. Do you think Republicans and conservatives, at least for the time being, have to face what the reality is and work with the system they're stuck with?
Yeah, here's the reality. If we can elect Herschel, it's much harder for Schumer. And in 2024, we have West Virginia, Ohio, and Montana, three very good pickups. So if you start at 50-50, all you need is 2 years from now to fire Schumer. We just fired Nancy Pelosi. This is the road to firing Schumer begins tonight. Am I shameless?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'll answer that.
I don't get this money. Yeah. But shame on us all if we can't help him. This guy has taken a lot of crap. He stood out. He's an African-American conservative. All hell has broke loose against him and his family. The least we can do, shame on us all if we can't help him. Because he's going to change the Republican Party. He's going to change America. Go to teamherschel.com and unashamedly give to an African-American conservative who deserves your support. Teamherschel.com. Change America. Change it now.
I don't know. It's Senator Cruz. You want to try and top that?
Well, look, I'll say, you look at all the voting rules that the Democrats used COVID to put in place. This election here in Georgia will determine whether those rules get forced all over the country. Because if Warnock wins, the Democrats are one vote away from ending the filibuster. And I think if they get one vote away from ending the filibuster, Joe Manchin will roll over, Schumer will end it, and the first thing they will do if they end the filibuster is pass S1, the Corrupt Politicians Act, that will strike down every photo ID law in the country, that will legalize ballot harvesting, that will register millions of illegal aliens to vote, that will register felons to vote. They want to stay in power. And this race is all about taking the terrible voting laws in California and forcing them on the rest of this country. I want to say, secondly, what Lindsey just said a minute ago is really important. Why do the Democrats hate Herschel so much? Because he's a black man who's a conservative who has the courage to speak out. And the attitude of the Democrats is that African Americans and Hispanics, we're not allowed to believe in freedom. We're not allowed to support the cops. We're not allowed to want to secure our country. We're definitely not allowed to believe in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And that is a lie. And they want to punish Herschel for daring to speak out because they're scared of him. Because when he wins, And Sean, I believe he's going to win. He is going to be a national leader that is going to resonate across the country in the African-American community, with young people, and with Americans all over the country who are fed up with the direction we're going.
You know, Herschel, I've watched. That's pretty good. That's a close second. I watched you in this campaign, and I remember we had a.
You're killing me.
We had a conversation, Herschel, before you ran, and in that conversation, I said, you know, they're going to smear you, slander you, besmirch you, character assassination. You said to me you were ready for it, and you said let them bring it on. And I wish I was wrong, but all of that turned out to be true. I think one thing, Herschel, and I'll let you talk to the rest of the country, you know, we have 49 Republican senators around the country, and why this is important to them is that you'll be 50, and that will help their Republican senators advance the agenda that they all went out and voted for, which is why it matters to everybody in the country. Let's get your thoughts, Herschel Walker.
Well, first of all, this election is more than Herschel Walker. This election is about the people. And I said this is we the people, not we the government. And that's what the left want to do, is make it the government. Well, I want everyone to know I love the United States of America. I love Georgia. And that's what this is about, bringing this country back to being the United States of America, and not China, not Russia, because that's what the left seem to want to do. They don't like the term "make America great again." I think that's a wonderful term. I live in America. I want it to be great, but I want everyone in America to be a part of it. And I want Americans. That's the reason I said let's secure this border. That's what Senator Warnock has voted not to do, is secure the border. Let's get this economy back together. Let's get crime off the street. It can be done if we unify and come together as people, rather than do as Senator Warnock continued to do, is want to divide us just for a vote. So I want all the people in Georgia to know, right now I'm a unifier. I want to come together and just make this country great again, make Georgia great again, because that's what we're about.
All right, I think we're going to end it there on a great note. Senator Ted Cruz, thank you. Lindsey Graham, thank you. And hopefully soon to be Senator-elect. It's coming in 2 weeks. Herschel Walker, thank you. Please send my regards to that massive crowd behind you as well. All right. And coming up, today was Fauci's big farewell at the White House.